Seats. We are thrilled to welcome you to the Better Business Bureau's 2024 annual meeting. Thank you all for joining us. We have an exciting afternoon ahead. We are honored to introduce your MC for today, Lori Wilson. Lori has been a part of the WSB TV family since 2017, waking up Georgians each morning as the anchor for Channel 2 Action News This Morning at 4:30 a.m. Over the years, she's covered significant events that have shaped our community, including Hurricane Irma, the COVID-19 pandemic, and the loss of legendary civil rights leaders in Atlanta. A moment that stands out most for Lori was covering the protests in Atlanta following the tragic death of George Floyd. Lori is a proud graduate of Indiana University, and her journalism career has taken her to news stations in Indianapolis, Philadelphia, and Shreveport, Louisiana. Outside of the newsroom, Lori is also a children's book author, a proud member of the National Association for Black Journalists, and a sister of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. We are truly honored to have her here this afternoon.
That was amazing. Look at me with straight hair. That was my pre-pandemic picture. My hair was so straight, so straight. Now it's much happier, but it's everywhere. And I'm so glad it is here with me today. I'm really glad to be here with you today. I was, doing a thing where I'm listening and I'm kind of making funny faces because when I'm a little uncomfortable, I'll do things like that. And I said, this is not the appropriate time to do that, Lori. Just listen. I did it to myself though, right? Because I came up here and stood. My fault. Anyway, I am so glad to be here with you all today. When it comes to the Better Business Bureau, I will say that I asked, am I a customer? Am I a client? I think somebody told me I was a member. I do not have my own business, but when you want to know if something is legitimate, right? Or if there's any complaints against them, do they serve their customers well? What do? You look up the 3 Bs, right? The Better Business Bureau. So I've been doing that for years. And it's really interesting now and probably even more important than ever before, the mission of the BBB, especially when, you can put up a website or make a commercial and put it online and represent yourself however you want to. But there's a lot of people out there who really do want the truth. They want to know what's going on and how to get there. And the BBB has always been that organization, kind of that beacon that we can trust. So I so appreciate it. And that's why I'm glad to be here with you today. Okay, I'm putting on glasses now to read the script. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Lori Wilson. It's my pleasure to officially welcome you to the 2024 Better Business Bureau annual meeting. And of course, what a beautiful location, the Distillery of Modern Art. Thank you all for this incredible location. I thought my GPS was lying to me. I said, only 1 minute and I'm gonna be there? But yes, it is so amazing. What a beautiful little jewel that we've got here. Before we get into today's meeting, I want to take a minute to just reflect on those who were impacted by Hurricane Helene and Hurricane Milton. Of course, we know how challenging these last few weeks have been. So if we can just take a moment of silence. Thank you all for that. So now, we are getting to the good stuff. This is going to be a really exciting afternoon. I hope that you are really ready because you're going to get some good information and inspiration. Hope you had a chance to check out the artwork. And did you try some of the drinks that were up front? The vodka, maybe? No, none of you, because you've got to go back to work, right? Okay. Well, it's there. I think they had a tasting as well. What I want to make sure you guys do is use your social media, pull out your cell phones, or at least turn them to this, because I know you guys have them right with you. And we're going to take a selfie. Can we try this? I'm going to try to do one with everybody. Let's see. Here we go. Everybody smile. All right. 3, 2, cheese. Better Business Bureau. Okay, all right. I don't know if that's going to work out. But we want to have some fun. You can scan the QR code on your table or the screen, upload your pictures, hashtag BBB ATL Annual Meeting 24. Hashtag BBB ATL Annual Meeting 24. Or just, tag at BBB ATL. Be sure to mix and mingle with the other accredited businesses here today. You never know where some great connections might happen. All right, here we go. We have a fantastic agenda for you this afternoon featuring some pretty incredible leaders and partners who make BBB's mission possible. Our keynote speaker today, Mrs. Cami Mackey, like the arena, Executive Vice President and Chief People Diversity and Inclusion Officer for the Atlanta Hawks and State Farm Arena. She's going to kick things off in just a few minutes. We're also honored to have Mr. Mike Jones here, Senior Director of Customer Care for the Home Depot and our current BBB Board Chair. And of course, Mr. Brian Cantanilla, the President and CEO of the Better Business Bureau North Georgia, who has been with BBB since 2018 and continues to lead us in providing top-notch support to businesses across North Georgia. So this is going to be a good one. The Better Business Bureau has been, of course, a pillar of support for North Georgia businesses since 1952. Don't know if you knew that. Its roots go all the way back to 1912, 110 years of fostering support, trust, integrity across communities in U.S., Mexico, and Canada as well. The vision in North Georgia to be the leader in reputation management and trust advocacy across the 47-county service area. The vision is only possible because of the extraordinary efforts of accredited businesses and community partners like you all here today. For all that you do in our communities, please, everybody, give yourselves a round of applause. And now it is time to get the excitement started. We are honored to have Ms. Cami Mackey here with us today as the Executive Vice President and Chief People Diversity and Inclusion Officer for the Atlanta Hawks and State Farm Arena. Cami plays a crucial role in shaping the organization's people, philosophy, and culture. Under her leadership, the Hawks have achieved remarkable milestones, including winning the Most Effective Recruitment Strategy Award at the 2019 HR Excellence Awards. Cami's impressive background also includes leadership roles at MGM Resorts International, Walt Disney World, the Special Olympics International, and her own HR consulting firm. So we are really fortunate to have Ms. Cami Mackey here with us today. Without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming our keynote speaker, Ms. Cami Mackey.
Lori. Oh my gosh, I don't know how to follow that. I feel hyped. I'm ready to go. But thank you so much for the gracious introduction, and Brian and team, thank you for inviting me to be here. I'm really excited. I mean, when I came in and it's something about entrepreneurs and business owners or what have you. There's just a passion, there's an excitement, there's just a feeling, and you all have created this space, this feeling in this room. So I feel very honored to be amongst you right now. But as I was thinking about, coming here today and talking about business owners, entrepreneurs, or what have you, I had to go back down memory lane. And I went back to a time where I was in Northern Virginia, and I lived in a community where there was a town center. And there was a small business that was there, and everyone knew to go there. I mean, on the weekends, it was the place to be. There was always fun music. There was a diverse assortment of products and services and things that they offered. Social media was off the charts. They kept you informed, all of these different pieces. Then the workforce. The workforce was always so diverse. There were different people, and you could just tell each week they were coming up with different ideas of how they were going to execute and what they were going to do to really wow their customers. But then, as I would leave there all hyped, just as Lori hyped us up here, I would go down the street, and there was another business. And it was quite the opposite. It was a different feel. It didn't have that passion. It didn't have that excitement. It didn't have the social media. It didn't have the diverse workforce. It didn't have the diversity in products. As a matter of fact, there were lots of discount signs and, just really trying to get people in. And I paused and I was like, okay, what's the difference? What's causing this difference? What's the catalyst for this difference? So then, I think maybe coming a little closer to us, how many of you remember Blockbuster? Yeah. Remember those DVDs? You go and, watch the latest movie, and now you see Netflix. What about Target? Now, I'm a Target shopper. But when I go to one of the, little Targets, it seems a little weird. I'm like, I don't like that one. I want the big one that has all the things that I need. What about Apple? How many of you remember when Apple was really a system for education? Remember that? Some of you remember? And what is it now today? You all have them. You have your smartphones, your monitors. They have the new, it's not the Oculus, but it's, where you can see the little vision. They have all of these new products. So when I reflect on all of those, what's the difference? What's the difference from those businesses that over time have transitioned, that have pivoted, that have flourished in different ways? What do we think? Innovation? People. Yes. And I think that's the big part of what I want to spend a few moments with us talking about. Transformational leadership. Leadership. Leaders, how we show up, what we bring to the table plays a humongous role in our businesses. And you probably think about where you are today. When your workforce, you yourself as leaders, when you look at some of your fellow, business owners, the leadership shows up in that innovation. So a few things when we think about a transformational leader, there are a few things that come to mind, and I call it kind of the essence of this type leadership. But the very first one is vision. And let's think about vision for a minute. I know for me, when I think about vision, I typically think about the organization's vision. What's the vision for your business? Raise your hand if you have a vision for your business or the business you work with. There's a vision statement. Most of us have those. But how many of us have a vision for us as a leader? How we show up? What are our guiding principles? What do we hope to aspire as the leader? Not just the business, not just the tangibles of a vision, but how do we want to feel when we hit that plateau of our business? We sit here, we have our business plan, and we have our goals set for the year, and we're like, yeah, we have our strategic planning meeting with your workforce. But once you hit all of that, what is that feeling? And I want to hear, what are some of those when you think about you, the person, the owner of the business? Some of you may be a parent, some of you may be a spouse, you may be a sister, you may be a community advocate. When you look at who you are totally as a leader, what are some of those words that you want to represent you? And I would love to hear, what are just some of those words when you think of you as that visionary leader? Balance? Integrity? Empowering? Accountable? What'd you say? Servant. Yes. Courageous. Dependable. Compassionate. Oh my gosh. What are you noticing with these words that you're sharing? This is how we show up totally as a person. It's not just our business. It's who we are. And we were talking earlier about trust. When we're as business leaders, when we have integrity, we show compassion, we're accountable, the integrity, all of those pieces, that's helping us to build trust with our customers, with our employees, and it's going to help them to want to show up time and time again. But vision is one that I think so often, and I had to get a mirror and really reflect because I was asked, what is your vision? I immediately went to the company. I said, the vision is blah, 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 blah. And they're like, no, what's your vision for you as a leader? So I encourage us, to sit down for ourselves to just kind of write out, what is that vision that I have for myself? The other one is empowerment. When we empower others, and you look at your workforce, you look at your customers, your clients, when we empower others, which is basically saying, I trust you to do what you know to do. So when we go to our workforce, how many of you maybe have about 2 to 10 employees? So a good number of you. And even you look at yourself when you've worked in different environments. When someone trusts you and you feel empowered, is there a different you that shows up? Yeah, I know for me it is. When I feel that I'm not empowered, I'm, kind of going by the book or what have you. But when I'm empowered and I know this is what I can do, oh my gosh, you're stepping up your customer service. You're really going above and beyond because you want to make it special, and you know that you have the key to do that. So empowerment in our organizations, and I think as a transformational leader, empowering others, which means training, clarity of what your expectations are, all of those things are very, very key and important. Now, what about adaptability? I don't know about you, but the world we're in today, oh my gosh, has been ever changing. And we hear the word adaptability, we hear the words resilience, change agents, all of those. And I thought, naive here, I thought when the pandemic came and it went, we go back. I said, oh, we go back. We're going to go back to the way it was. How many of you went back to the way it was? No. Do you feel like you've been changing ever since? Yes, constant change. Workforce is changing. I mean, we have like 5 different generations in the workforce, and you're trying to figure it all out. What about technology? So I have a new best friend, and my new best friend is ChatGPT. I remember being in a meeting, and I had no clue what that was, what it meant, or anything. So I went home. I have younger kids. I said, what is this? And how does it work? Boy, when I learned, oh my goodness, I use it for any and everything. And guess what? It's okay. It is okay. That's what the tools are out there for us to use. And I encourage, as business leaders, as employees working within organizations, there's a lot of change, there's a lot of tools, but I say lean in. Lean into these tools. Lean into these resources, because in many cases, they're going to help to make our life easier. So at the Atlanta Hawks, we have about 1,500 team members, full-time, part-time, in an array of disciplines. And when you start talking about technology, what do you think is one of the first things employees start thinking? Getting a little scared, thinking, oh, shoot. Yeah, we're going to downsize. That's going to take my job, all of these things. And I'm like, heck no. If anything, we're going to need you even more. So, that leaning in is real. We want everyone, we need everyone to lean in because things are going so quickly. But adaptability is hard. It's not always easy. It's change. And it comes in so many forms, in so many ways. Even simple things, did you have to, or let me ask you this, are you still toying with working within the workforce, remote working, 2, 3, 4 days a week? Have you figured that out? I see some no's. Yeah. I mean, It's all of those things. It's all change, and how do we adapt to those changes? The thing that we have found that's been very helpful in helping to guide us is data. Is looking at data, getting data, customer data, understanding the future. So with us at the Atlanta Hawks, we started a process probably about 2 years ago, and it was called the Future Fan. So if you've ever come to our arena, you'll see we have about 18,000, seats, so it holds almost just under 20,000 people. But we know in the future, things are changing. So streaming, you can watch TV and see any and everything. You can do rewind, you can have your favorite drink or what have you. You don't have to go anywhere. So we're looking at the future and we're realizing, if we don't stay current, we might lose people coming into our arena. We'd hate to think that. We're an NBA team. We're thinking people for life are going to want to come. But through data, we're finding that the new generations, they're not as diehards as some of us used to be. So what do we have to do? We have to diversify. We have to learn about the future fans. So we took a year. We went into households, literally. Literally. We went in and we saw what memorabilia they had or did not have. We watched to see what their children, were they watching a game or were they on their gadgets or digital, devices? How often did they come to the game? So going in and really doing some research, and we partnered with a third party to help us with this, we found out that there were 5 different personas. So there are 5 different types of customers or guests that would come into our space. And what we did from that analysis, we realized, okay, there's someone, who's they are the influencers. They just want to go to a game to be seen with cool outfits, what have you. Then you had your diehards. Then you had the community builders, and the list goes on. The point about that was looking at data to understand our market, to understand the needs, not just today, but in the future. Because things are happening so rapid that we can't sleep on today and get comfortable. We always kind of have that eye on what's coming up next. So that has been something that has really helped us, but that adaptability and then to be able to pivot. And guess what? We found you're never too old, you're never too, you may have a great brand, but it's never too late to pivot. And we've got to be on our toes, and I think that's a huge part of being a transformational leader. The other thing is leading by example. People are watching you as business leaders in so many different ways. What are some ways that people are really attuned to what's going on with you as a leader within your business or your business? What's out there now that makes it very public of what you're doing? Social media. Oh my gosh, absolutely. In a heartbeat. What you're doing or not gets out there quickly. And is it easy to turn it around when you're brand? No, it's very hard. So one of those where, looking at when we're out places, what we're putting in writing, even, we're in a world now where I think our communities, our workforce, they expect us as leaders to have an opinion on things that maybe previously we didn't. So we'll touch a little bit about political views, social views. Have any of you had someone to say to you in your work group, hey, what do you say about this? What are we going to do about this? Or why didn't? What is our voice? How are we going to respond? These are all things that we are finding ourselves as leaders and leading businesses and leading teams that we're encountering. Now, what I found to be very helpful is we can't answer to everything. We can't solve for everything. And there's some things that, we can share a thought or opinion, and some things we can't. And that goes back to us knowing what our company brand, personal brand, and what we stand for as an organization. But those are things as transformational leaders we're starting to think about. Years ago, it was just you didn't talk about certain things, and it didn't come into the workforce. But today it's here, and it's up close and personal, and we're like, we have to address it in some form or fashion. So leading by example, having those a stance for what you believe in is really, really critical. Now, once you do all of these, the cool thing is, the impact that it has on our business. When we are adaptable, when we are engaging, when our passion shows up as leaders from our vision, it does help with employee engagement. It does make our team members, when they feel their voices are heard, want to be a part of and to share creative ideas with us to help us grow. And that's where I think diversity, I was asked earlier, what do you think about diversity in businesses? I'm like, I don't know how you have a business without diversity. Diversity is innovation, it's these great ideas that we need. Diversity is bringing in different skill set. I know we found a gap, around analytics. We needed someone, a data scientist, and someone who could come in with more insight. That's diversity. That's bringing in a different skill set. So a workforce that's inclusive of that, and they realize that we value what they bring to the table, helps with employee engagement. The other thing is customer loyalty. Specialization, this is a word that we're using and we're hearing quite a bit now. How do we specialize the experience? What do we do to make ourselves stand out? And a lot of that is being able to connect with the consumer, your customers, your fans, to understand what is it that they want. How do you find that out? Relationships. Sometimes it's just asking. It's just asking the question, how was your experience? What worked? But don't tell me all the good. What can we do better? Having that relationship in asking questions. What else can we do? What's something else we can do to just, connect and get data from our customers?
Make sure you set triggers so when somebody responds, you instantly know that they are performing in the way you would like.
That's right. That's right. So that when you get those inputs, how are you responding? How are you following up? And I think that's another place using technology to help us with that, because some of us are smaller. I had a small business, and I could not afford to have departments or whatever. In the beginning, it was just me, find me, my me, and I was doing it all. So it's like, okay, what technology could I use here to help? But the customer response, that was critical. And then the other one is the community involvement, and I touched on that a little bit, but I can't stress that. When you go back to your vision and you think about who you are as a business owner, a leader within your organization, and you have that vision, the piece of the community, and especially I think in our community, the community, when I think about our organization and probably many of you, that's the root of who we are. We reflect the community, each and every one of us. So having ways to just stay in tune with the community, listening to the community, serving the community, and realizing that the community is a part of all of our components is really important as a business. Because when times are great, the community is there. But when times are a little challenging, when we've built those relationships and the community knows we're there for them, they'll be there for us as well. So those are just some of the things when I think about a transformational leader. And I want to pause a moment, and I would love for you at your table to turn to your neighbor and just share one thing about what you feel you could do or something you want to do different to make you more of a transformational leader. So we'll just take 1 second for you to turn to someone at your table and just say, what is something you want to commit to doing to be more transformational? All right, we're going to wrap up those quick conversations. All right. So, what I would love to hear, we talked about the word accountability, commitment, integrity. We talked about vision. We use some of those words that are, that ring true, and it really helps us to make sure that we do some of the things that we say. So integrity. A lot of times we think of integrity as like, wait, that's an attack on me personally. But no, integrity is really about doing what we say we're going to do. So you all shared something that you want to do to become more of a transformational leader. And I encourage you, whatever it was that you shared, remember that. Put it somewhere where you can look at it frequently. What I found is it's not a whole bunch of stuff that we have to do, but if we just take one or two things that we commit to doing on a regular basis, and with those one or two things, I also say it's important to carve out time to think. How many of you think? To have time on your calendar to think? Yeah. I see some heads shaking. No, because what are we doing? We're going. We're back to back. We have meetings. We go places like this. We get information. But then as soon as we leave, we get in our car. Our minds are about what do I need to do next? And we're just constantly going. As business leaders, we don't have time to think. But guess what? We're in control of our time. It's on us. So I learned this, and I felt like, oh my gosh, why didn't I do this before? Going back to technology, Microsoft, there's a component there where you can hit a button, it'll go through your calendar, and it will automatically schedule you time. And it blocks every day. It goes through and just blocks time. I encourage you, it sounds silly, but schedule time to think. Think. That's what transformational leaders do. What are they thinking about? They're thinking about, how can I do things differently? What's the one thing I can do today that's going to help to transform my business, make it better, make it, help me to pivot, to become innovative. 10 years from now, you're ahead of the curve. But it starts with us as leaders, being transformational, taking time to think, putting into practice those things that we know, to be true, and taking care of ourselves along the way. So I'll end with a quote that says, small businesses are the heartbeat of innovation, driving progress and inspiring the next generation with their purpose-driven passion. You started your business. You're a leader within your business because you have passion. You're passionate about what you do. Because I know having a small business is not easy. A lot of work, a lot of hours, all of those things. But it's your passion that keeps you going. It's your passion that makes you successful. And it's your passion that customers, fans, that see. And that's what brings them back each and every day. So congratulations on all that you do. You got this. And I feel like I'm looking at an audience of transformational leaders. And I can't wait to see what's to come with each and every one of you in your businesses. Thank you for your time.
Okay. That was amazing. Can we give Cammie another round of applause, please? And excuse me for 1 minute. I'm just going to schedule some time to think. Seriously, that was a pretty amazing point. I do not do that. I think I might fall asleep if I tried to do that. But boy, this has been such an incredible day. Thank you, Cammie. We appreciate you. We will see you at the next Hawks game. As always, really good insights. And I know that I will remember the moment that we had the conversation and what I talked to my partner about, which was the vision piece, having a personal vision. And hopefully all of you guys had your piece to take away as well. Now that we've had the privilege of hearing from Cammie, we want to move on to a really special part of the annual meeting. This past year, the Better Business Bureau Atlanta and Northeast Georgia has seen incredible developments, including a new office in Alpharetta and a renewed focus on strengthening connections with businesses within our community. 2024 has been an incredible year for BBB Atlanta, and we know there is so much more to come. You know, I'm watching Brian there walk Cammie out, and he is actually up next to the microphone. I'm trying to be very, respectful and keep the program moving, but he's out there. Hi, Brian. No, he doesn't see me. But I do see Taylor actually going out to get him. So I know he will be up here shortly because I'm going to keep the program moving. Here he comes. Okay, so to lead us through this next part of our program, I'd like to welcome BBB's CEO, Mr. Brian Catania. And our 2024 board chair, Mr. Mike Jones. If you will both come to the stage.
All right, look at that for timing, huh? All right, I had Josh all queued up. He was going to fill in. He's much prettier than I am. He was going to take care of it for me. But nonetheless, I guess I'm here in time, so you all get to put up with me instead. Y'all, I apologize. I'm a walker, so if I try to stand still here, you will see me fidget and get nervous, so I'm just going to keep walking around. I appreciate everybody being here. Hopefully you enjoyed that. I was telling Cammie as we were walking out, one of the things that we always love to try and do is find someone that everybody in the room can associate with. And even though Cammie hasn't been a small business owner in a little while, we all probably know the Hawks. We all hopefully love the Hawks. We all support the Hawks, and it's an Atlanta kind of institution. So it's so great to hear from her. And then obviously talking about things like transformational leadership, what it can mean to every single one of us. I think it was just really good to hear from her. So hopefully you all enjoyed that, got something out of it, got to know and meet Cammie a little bit. Say hi to her when you're at the games. She does not sit in the suites. She does not sit up in the penthouse. She comes down, sits in the court with everybody. So you go up, say hi to her, and chit-chat and tell her you got to see her at the BBB meeting. All right, so with that said, we've got a couple things that we want to cover. I will try not to be too long-winded. My team will tell you that's not physically possible, but I will do my best not to be. But I do have a couple things that I want to cover, and then we've got some really cool things that we want to talk about and introduce. Before we do any of that, one of the things we want to do is recognize some of our partners here from WSB TV. Lori and then Preston, who we're going to talk to a little bit later, are with WSB TV, and they have been accredited businesses with us for 60 years. So yes, please, I think that deserves a little acknowledgement, but they are one of the original founding BBB members here in Metro Atlanta, so we always like to kind of recognize and congratulate them on 60 years. So thank you, Preston, thank you, Lori, thank you for being part of today, but obviously thank you for being part of BBB for 60 years now. It's really a wonderful thing. All right, with that said, what we're going to talk about today, when my eyesight isn't that good, we'll talk a little bit about the year in review. We'll talk about some of our performance highlights, and then we're going to focus more of our time on what's to come. Because while it's great to look in the rearview mirror, more of you are probably more concerned with, okay, what's coming? What can we expect from our Better Business Bureau accreditation, and what can we expect to see in the community? So let's jump straight into that. A couple of things we want to talk about in the year in review. We spent 2024 focused on four main pillars within our organization. Number one, we wanted to reset our culture. You heard Cammie talk about the culture of your organization. We wanted to make sure that our culture was representative of the communities that we're supporting, the small business owners, the diversity that we want to reflect in the marketplace, and the fact that our marketplace is changing as dramatically as it is. If we're not prepared for that with a culture that can adapt to that, then we're going to really be challenged in the future. So we spent a lot of last year focused on developing our culture and making sure that culture can integrate into what our future is going to look like. We also spend a little bit more time on our purpose. We're going to talk about that in a couple of minutes here, but what is the purpose of the Better Business Bureau going to be moved forward? Right now, I'm pretty sure that if I asked everybody in this room, most of you would answer with one of two things. BBB gives us ratings, or we can leave a complaint with you. And those are wonderful things. Those are the foundations of who and what we are. We do investigations, we do ad reviews, we handle a lot of things. But what we also want you to start understanding is more of what we're going to be to you in the future. Your accreditation is no longer just going to be the rating that you get to put on your dynamic seal, but it's going to be so many other tangible services that you can take advantage of to help promote yourself in the communities, to help promote yourself with customers, to help maintain that ethics and integrity that customers desperately, desperately want out of their accredited businesses. So we'll talk a little bit about that. Programs and services, that dovetails into what we just talked about. Josh is going to come up in a minute, and he'll talk about a couple of things that we're specifically doing that are going to give you all more tangible benefits with your BBB accreditation. And then finally, community engagement. One of the things we want to do is we want to start being more actively involved with the community. We're actively involved with businesses. We're actively involved with consumers. We want to start being a better community partner, not just here in North Georgia, but really throughout all of Georgia. And we work with our other BBB partners to be able to facilitate that experience all through Georgia. So those are some of the things that we've spent 2024 working on so that going into 2025, we can really launch them dynamically and aggressively and start getting those services out to you all. The quick financial highlights, since we are a nonprofit, but as accredited businesses, we provide to you once a year where our financial position is. And because I can't read that very well, I'm just going to make up numbers. So we're doing great. We've got this and that. Real quick, on the left side of the ledger, you're looking at our total assets, our total current assets, and you're looking at a year over year. These are all through end of quarter 3. So just so you have that perspective, we're looking at about a 9% increase year over year in total assets. So that's a good thing. That means that gives us more opportunity to be able to put money back into your all's businesses. And then on the right is a little bit more detailed P&L breakdown of where we're spending some of that money, where we're bringing that money in, and then how we're putting it back in. The biggest thing, and some of you are nonprofit businesses, some of you are for-profit businesses, the biggest thing when you look at our financial statement, you are rarely going to see very big gains, very big losses. And that's because in years where we experience a loss, it's because we've made significant investment into our business. We're upgrading technology. We're upgrading our programs and services. On years where you see gains, we're taking all of that gain and putting it back into the business. We're putting it back into you as our accredited members. We're putting it back into our partnerships. We're putting it back into the community at large. So for those that are for-profit, when you look at our balance sheet, it'll sometimes look a little bit different because you're thinking, well, why isn't that net income number super high and really, really strong? It's not that we don't want to run a really strong business. It's because as a not-for-profit, we put all of our money back into the community and into our accredited businesses and into making sure that Better Business Bureau is able to serve the needs of businesses and consumers. So that's a quick look at our year over year. Overall, it's relatively strong, and overall, we're in position to do great things going into 2025. Couple of quick performance highlights. We don't spend a lot of time on this, but we do like to see some of the things that are probably important to you all. On the left is business profile inquiries, and what that means is how many times people are coming to bbb.org to look up a business profile. So I need a roofer, I need a plumber, I need an HVAC technician, I need a used car, whatever it is, whatever type of business. That's those business profile inquiries. How often are people coming? You'll see the blue line, which kind of looks like the purple line, is 2023. The purple line is 2024. The good news about that story on business profile inquiries is this is kind of our bread and butter. People come to us. People come to us almost as frequently as they come to some of the big, really reputable, the Googles, the Amazons, the Yelps. Better Business Bureau, believe it or not, as a non-for-profit, is still in line with those organizations when it comes to people visiting our website and people seeking information, people seeking businesses. You'll see that 2024, which is the purple line, has been a pretty strong, solid, stable line. We saw some fluctuation in 2023, a little bit in 2024, and y'all, we're seeing that in all of our numbers right now, and probably you guys might see something reflective. It's a very volatile market. You see some ups, you see some downs, but for the most part, what we look for is sort of a uniform path. As long as we're not seeing significant downward trends, then we're okay. When we start seeing those significant downward trends, that's where we try to reanalyze what we're doing, how we're doing it, why we're doing it, and course correct so that we don't continue to see that trend. In most cases, on the right side, web traffic page views, how often people are going to individual pages on our sites. You saw at the end of 2023, that blue line, that's the kind of trend we were getting concerned about. You're starting to see, a 10% dip month over month, year over year. So in the course of 2024, that number is still a shade below the blue line from 2023, but what we've been able to do is stabilize that. There's a lot going on in the world of bot traffic. There's a lot going on in the world of SEO optimization. For those of you that don't know, Google's algorithm around search engines and indexing is drastically changing in the next couple of years, almost to the point where, I'm not a prognosticator, but you're going to see a material change in how people go about searching for businesses. What's happening in the short term is that's affecting everybody's website traffic. You're seeing different kinds of fluctuations and variability in that traffic because it's going to stabilize on the back end, and hopefully for the good, as people are finding different alternatives to search and different alternatives and solutions to looking up businesses. That's where someone like Better Business Bureau is going to be able to take advantage of those opportunities and return that to all of your businesses. Just a little bit more on stats. Customer reviews. One of the things we've been doing a lot is trying to promote customer reviews, making sure that your businesses are getting those reviews. We've got some tools in place that allow your businesses, after they have an interaction, to leave a review. It's an automated function, so it sort of takes care of it all for you, takes some of the manual labor out of your hands. And then on the right is Get a Quote. For all intents and purposes, Get a Quotes is lead generators. We do not promote leads. We do not say that, hey, BBB accredited means you're going to get leads. But we do know that there's that opportunity there for businesses and consumers to partner with each other through the Get a Quote program. So once again, lots of variability in those programs, but what you're starting to see is a little bit of stabilization in those numbers. Some of the things we're doing, whereas you might see it stagnating a little bit in 2024, we're doing those things so that starting in 2025, you're going to see a significant rebound. You're going to see a lot of positive engagement. You're going to see a lot of people who maybe used to find other alternative solutions, finding Better Business Bureau more and more of a common source for their information. All right, almost done here, folks. We're going. New accredited businesses, so that's the new businesses that we're bringing in. Once again, you look at that number year over year. Part of the reason why the number is a little bit lower in 2024 is we've purposely drawn back. As we're working through some of the things we're doing, we said, all right, let's spend a little bit more time focused on the existing accredited businesses, being able to offer them more solutions, being able to offer them more value in their accreditation. Once we've done that and we've started putting those programs in place, now we can really start building towards, okay, let's start bringing in new businesses and let's start re-engaging. But we didn't want the group of existing, what is it that, we'll sell you and then once you become a member, we forget you exist. That's definitely what we did not want to do. So what we wanted to do is spend a little bit of time in this past year making sure that we were re-engaged with our businesses. Our operations team did a great job of putting together a customer lifecycle journey where we're now touching base with our accredited businesses at least once every couple of months to make sure, how you doing? Are you leveraging your business profile? Are you looking at some of the tools and resources we have available to you? So a big part of this year was designed specifically around that. And then the accredited businesses drops. You'll see that year over year, we're coming down. We had a little bit of an anomaly spike. That was more some cleanup on some back-end things that we had to do. So don't worry about that little spike. Just just don't pay attention to the man behind the curtain. That's just some little house, some house cleaning issues. But for the most part, we don't want anybody to drop. We believe that BBB accreditation is something that is too important and too valuable for you to say, this is something that I can't spend the money on or isn't worth the value. So we've really done a lot of work and a lot of research. You heard Cammie talk about surveying businesses and understanding what your needs and wants are, and we've done a lot of that. So as we move forward, let's talk about our 2025 growth plan and what some of those things are going to mean to us. We're still focused around some of those traditional pillars. We still want to make sure that our culture aligns with who we represent in the community. If we can't represent our community, if we can't be diverse of mind and diverse of products and diverse of cultures, then we're not going to be successful. So we'll continue to focus on our culture. We're going to continue to develop programs and services that give you guys opportunities to engage us. One of the things we always talk about is it's great for reputation management and trust advocacy. BBB is wonderful at that. But business owners are becoming more of, what have you done for me lately? What can I use now? We've got the dynamic seal, and we understand what that means. It's incredibly important and valuable to my business. But what else have you done for me lately? Programs and services is going to be our answer to what have we done for you lately. We have got some really, really cool and exciting new tools that we're going to introduce this year. Artificial intelligence, the ability to support social media. This stat always blows my mind, but 40% of small business owners don't have a website. I just almost don't know how you operate without a website anymore. We're going to help you solve that. We're going to help you have a website whether you want one or not. We're going to be there to deliver you those resources at no additional or incremental charge. We're also going to start giving you the opportunity to use more programs and services that are specific to you, a la carte offerings. Maybe you need help with social media. You just don't have time in your day to get to social media. Let us help you with that. You don't have a website. Let us help you with that, because there is time and effort that goes into all those things. You need digital advertising. You need help with administrative services. Hiring somebody is time consuming. It takes a long, it's a process. Let us help you with that. Accounting, year end, let us help you with that. There will be a lot of programs and services that as part of your accreditation, we're going to start offering so that it takes some of the administrative burden off of you and allows us to use technology to help implement that. Scheduling, we get that a lot, I just get overwhelmed. It's businesses that have too much business almost, which you would think is a wonderful problem, but a lot of times it becomes overwhelming. Let us help you with that. So a lot of programs and services coming up that I think are going to help solve for some of the day-to-day operational challenges you have and give you more value in what Better Business Bureau can provide, more tangible assets. Personalization. I talked about that a la carte offering, being able to pick and choose the things that you want with your accreditation. No longer is it just sort of this uniform, everybody gets sort of the same milquetoast experience. Let us personalize the experience so that it's very specific to you. What do you want as a business owner? What do you need? And we will solution for that, instead of just saying, here's what everybody gets, do the best that you can with it. And then finally, brand recognition and engagement. We're always of the belief that if BBB is more recognizable in the communities, then BBB accredited businesses will be more recognizable in the community. So a big part of what we're going to focus on next year is making sure that we are visible, that is making sure that people know the name BBB. We talk to generations, and we try to make sure that we are not just appealing to the grandfather business or the new high school college business. We want to make sure that we appeal to all generations. We don't want to be focused on any one. We don't want certain segments of our audience thinking, I know BBB inside and out, and the others saying BBB is big baller brand or something ridiculous. So we want to make sure that brand engagement in the marketplace is what's really important, because it's important to us, but it's more important that we're able to promote all of our accredited businesses by being visible in the marketplace. All right, so Josh is going to come up because he's smarter than I am, and he's going to talk about a couple of things we're doing in the world of AI that will specifically relate to all of the things that we think you guys are going to want to see as small business owners. Awesome. Thanks, Josh.
Thank you, Brian. He always sets the bar really low when he introduced me to do things. So So a couple things. Number one, as you are all, chatting with each other, as you're listening to the speakers, take pictures, take selfies with each other, capture the moments, share them on social media, tag us in those posts, and then we will comment and share your content. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but one of the best things you could do for your social media is to tag us in every single one of your posts. So Cammie talked about taking one idea away that would change your business. This will change your business. If you will tag us in every single one of your social media posts, I promise you, your reach on your social media will go through the roof. All right? So it's a freebie that came from the heart. That was just from me to you. Brian didn't tell me to say that. He probably should have told me to charge for it. But that's a good thing that we can do to be able to help you out. So AI. And everybody know what AI is? I don't know completely what AI is, right? But, ChatGPT, Gemini, all these different programs out right now that we're trying to somehow figure out how to engage with. And as a small business owner, do you have access to all of the subject matter experts that you would want to be able to create tools and understand what types of AI are going to work for your business in the most effective way? Raise your hand if you have enough expertise at your business. You don't need any more. You're good. You don't need any. Okay, I'm falling short here. Okay, that's good. So I kind of figured that would be the case. So what BBB did is we started to reach out to some of the subject matter experts in the country and quite frankly in the world. We started to look for partners that we could facilitate actually creating tools for you all to use that would allow for you to be able to have best-in-class tools, best-in-class services, best-in-class AI, and do it based upon the reality that we are a community, so we can drive it as far as a cost way, way down. Everybody like to save money? I don't know about you guys, but that's kind of a big thing. My wife, likes to save more money than I do, but I guess that's a good thing, right? So I should be the spender. So let's talk about 3 specific AI tools that we are working on right now. One that's available immediately. So if you don't have it, you call, and we will help you to get it. And then 2 that are going to be coming out, one towards the end of this year, and then another one first thing at the first quarter of next year. Okay, so the first one, what's available today? All right, so if you have a website, raise your hand if you have a website. All right, so one of the things that you can have on your website is the ability for an AI chatbot to be on your website to have a conversation with people who are visiting your website. Now, I know that we've all seen these on websites, right? You go to a website, all of a sudden a chatbot pops up. You don't know it's a chatbot. It has a picture. Usually it's a picture of somebody that looks pretty friendly. And they say, hey, how are you? Welcome to our website. What can I help you with? Right? And if you don't know, using those chatbots is amazing because you can bypass all the scrolling. You can bypass trying to figure out what page to go to find the information that you're wanting to find out. You can actually use those little tools to be able to make it to where you get the information you need right now. Now, what's cool about that is that we can train those chatbots. So not only are they conversational, they're empathetic. They can talk to somebody like it's a real person. They can give them not only information, but they can book you appointments right on your schedule that's tied to that chatbot, right? It's pulling information not only from your website, but also from all of your other marketing. So it can tell them about that one discount that you're offering for all the Facebook users that are clicking on this link, and it makes it to where all of a sudden you can tie every single customer you have that goes to your website to that offering, so it makes your marketing more effective. Shut up, that's pretty cool. And so when we have these tools, now it makes it to where now we can do more business. And so I'm going to give you an example of why this is important. Does anybody want more business? Anybody? Okay, so a few people shake their heads yes. All right, everybody else, see me afterwards. You guys can write me checks. And so if you want more business, this is a phenomenal tool. When we did some tests on this, and this has been done across the nation in different industries, what we've seen is conversion rates on visitors to your website can go up as much as 400% by having an AI chatbot start to have conversations with people when they come to your website. How cool is that, right? 400%. That's not a small thing. That's not me saying, hey, Preston, I can get you 10% more, right? We can get a huge uptick in what that looks like. And what's cool about it is it can make it to where it's seamless and it can connect it directly to you. So it can start the conversation on your website, and then all of a sudden you get a text and it says, hey, somebody's looking for a new water heater, and they're in Alpharetta, and they have an opening here. Would you like us to book the appointment, or do you want to make it to where you can start to have a conversation with them, live? And so it'll transfer it to you right then. So for the customer, it's seamless. They don't see any difference. They engaged with the website. They engaged with the chatbot. They started talking to you. It looked like they were talking to you the whole time, right? And it's a tool that you can use as of today. Okay, so, and the cool part is, it's $99 a month. Shut up, right? That's pretty cool. All right, so second thing, okay, what's coming up towards the end of this year? Does anybody have an assistant? Good for you. That's awesome. Okay, would anybody love an assistant? Okay, everybody, any of my staff want assistants? Yes? Okay, everybody. My kids want assistants, right? So having assistants is kind of a cool thing. And so what would it look like if I could have an assistant to do some things for me every single day? I could train them on something very specific, and that's all that assistant did 24 hours a day. Wouldn't that be cool? Well, towards the end of this year, we're going to be rolling this out to where when you get into this, you can actually have assistants not only for you, but for all of your staff. And you can have multiple assistants for your staff. I know our VP of Finance and HR, she's so excited about this, right? And so having assistants to be able to do all these different things for you, right? And so anything that ChatGPT can do, anything that you want to tell it to be able to research for you, anything that you want to tell it to do when it comes to your calendar, any summarization of your emails that you need to happen, any of the information that you need to have every single day can be done through these pre-built assistants. And once you set them up, now not only do you have assistants, but now all your staff has assistants. And the great part about that is you didn't have to hire anybody else to have all of these cool assistants, right? Kind of a cool tool. You guys agree? Raise your hand, you agree? Okay, a few people agree? Awesome. All right, so last one, okay? And so this is a really cool one. Who here likes to do more work? Nobody, okay. All right, so wouldn't it be, I always like doing the wouldn't it be or the what ifs, right? So wouldn't it be nice if as a business owner, you could be prompted every time that you should, do something to be able to make it to where you can make more money, right? So if I'm doing a job and I'm talking to somebody and all of a sudden I send an invoice out, wouldn't it be nice if I had a reminder that said, hey, would you like to send an email to remind that customer to leave a customer review? Wouldn't that be cool, right? And wouldn't it be even better if I could just hit yes and not have to do the work myself? It creates the email, it creates the copy, it's personalized based upon that individual customer's information and the work that you did for them, and then it asks for them to do a customer review. Wouldn't it be great, right, if you were working in a neighborhood and you did 3 jobs in that neighborhood and it says, hey, would you like to create a social media campaign centered around doing this type of work specifically targeted to this neighborhood? Wouldn't that be cool? And you could just hit yes, and it creates the social media campaign for you. It launches the social media campaign for you. It makes it to where you're not having to figure out how to do, Facebook and do different ads and figure out which places to go and how to be able to make it to where the geographic location is set up correctly. So all of a sudden you're not getting a whole bunch of customers in Fayetteville when you're only serving customers in Cumming, right? And so when you are in a place where we can leverage AI, that's totally possible. And wouldn't it be cool if it only cost you $12 a month? Okay, I'm going to say that one more time because that should have elicited a larger response. Wouldn't it be cool if that tool only cost $12 a month? Right? That's a big deal. All right, so at BBB, like I said, we leverage you all, right? We are a community. So when we talk to these folks, when we talk to these providers, we don't come and say, hey, we're a company that we're doing, around $5 million a year, right? We have about 30 employees, right? We come in and we say, no. We represent over 7,000 businesses. right? We represent billions and billions of dollars of commerce right here in Atlanta and Northeast Georgia. And so when we are having these conversations on your behalf, we leverage you. And what that does is it makes it to where we're able to provide things that normally as a small business you would never be able to get on your own. But if you can get a tool like that for $150 a year, shut the front door. That's pretty cool. Okay? And so this year, you're going to start to see a lot more of these types of tools come out. You're going to start to see that we're going to leverage our community to be able to drive down those costs and those prices to you. And we're going to make sure that not only we're providing you those right tools, but we're making it to where we're going to provide you the education and the training and the wherewithal to be able to use them in the most effective way, because when we do that together and we're learning together, all of a sudden, everybody wins, right? And so because to be part of BBB, you can't just write us a check. I don't know if you guys knew that or not. Okay, you have to qualify to be part of BBB. You have to go through a process to be part of BBB. And so as a result, we want all good businesses to thrive. And I'll say that again. We want all good businesses to thrive. And as a result, we should give all the good businesses the best stuff, right? So that's what we have coming. Hopefully you guys take advantage of it. Hopefully you're excited about it. So I'm going to give you a quick rundown again. Chatbot, okay? Making it to where we have AI assistance. That's one of our favorites. And the last one is the AI lead gen marketing tool at only $150. So love you, mean it. Thank you guys for your time. I'll give it back to Brian.
All right, thank you, Josh. Josh likes the big intro, and I just say, here's Josh. So let me give him the big outro. Wasn't Josh great, everybody? All right. There it goes. So y'all, one last thing we want to do before we start kind of talking about closing it up and some final thoughts is we've got a new program that's going to launch sometime in next year. We're hoping in the April timeframe. We are incredibly, incredibly excited about it. The BBB is going to be a trusted partner in this program, and we believe this is going to make significant inroads into the future of diversifying, the opportunities that exist in the marketplace. The entity is going to be called Bridge, and you'll learn a little bit more about it in a second here when we play this video. But we'll talk about who and what it is. There are a couple of board members here today from Bridge. So if you're here today, I don't want to miss anybody, but Shalonda is here. I see Steve here. I see Layla here. Cammie was one of our board members as well. She had to step out because she has some big Hawks meetings. Mr. Penny is here. So we've got a couple of them. And I apologize if I missed anybody else that's on the board that I didn't see earlier. So let's do a quick video, and it'll tell you a little bit about what Bridge is.
Georgia, home to one of the fastest growing multicultural economies in the country. However, in this hub of entrepreneurial spirit, there's still work to be done to make access to resources and information equitable. Community feedback tells us there's still a need for better access to business funding and resources specifically geared toward minority and women entrepreneurs. Meet Bridge, the Business Resource Institute for Development, Growth, and Empowerment. Right here in the birthplace of civil rights, underrepresented entrepreneurs will find support, guidance, and a network of resources eager to see them thrive. Each year, more than 2 million minority and women entrepreneurs start new businesses in the U.S., but reality is harsh. Only 1 of 4 will still be operating in 10 years. So we're creating a solution to help overcome the barriers to success. Bridge will build mobile business engagement centers, a unique solution to solve the primary challenges of time and access. These mobile centers will be retrofitted with tools and resources to offer real-time solutions and opportunities to support the unique needs of underserved minority and women entrepreneurs. Access, empower, and succeed. Together, we can provide transformative and equitable access to under-resourced business communities. Join in and support our mission. This is Bridge.
So y'all, I smile when I see that because we're so proud of it. I know Lori Lori and Preston are also proud of it. For those of you that didn't recognize, that was the voice of Karen Greer from WSB TV as well. So WSB is just a partner with everything we do. So hello. Yes, thanks. See, that's Lori's on-camera personality there. She just knows that I'm talking away. Luckily, my voice is loud enough that you hopefully still heard it. But anyway, that was the voice of Karen Greer from WSB TV. We're very excited about this program, y'all. We have a lot of belief in what it's going to be and what it's going to offer. We've got a board of trustees that is just on par with something we've never seen before. It's some of the most powerful and influential people that are in the Georgia area. These are folks that have a lot of resources, a lot of background, and most importantly, what they have is unbelievable passion for what they do. You heard Cammie talk about it earlier, and I couldn't agree with her more. There are a lot of incredibly smart people in the world, and there are a lot of people that want to do a lot of good. I think passion is the one thing that always differentiates those that are going to be successful versus those that might just kind of exist. And we are not going to exist. We are going to be passionate about what we do, and we are going to thrive under this program. So it's exciting. There's a lot more to come. It's still kind of in developmental phase. The execution of this will come sometime early to mid part of next year, and when it does, we will have a huge launch. You saw the mobile engagement center. The two things that we want to try and do that really address issues that we feel like are prevalent with the small business owner is, number one, is access. And access literally means as simple as being able to get to the resources you need. If you're a small business owner, you're likely have got 1, 2 employees. You don't have time to spend 4 hours driving into Atlanta and finding parking and fighting traffic and trying to meet with the people you need to meet with and then trying to get back to your work because your work never stops, so you have to work until 12 o'clock that night instead of being able to do your normal job. And then, oh, by the way, you have a family and you have to take care of your family. And anyway, it can go on and on. So we're going to start bringing the solutions to you as the business owner. Instead of asking you to come to us, we'll come to you. And then the other part of what we're asking our partners to do with this is be real-time solutions. What does that mean? That means instead of asking you to go through bureaucracy and red tape to get access to the resources you need, make those resources readily available to you. If you need access to funding, making it a little bit easier. I'm not saying just giving free money away to everybody, but making it just a little bit easier to get access to capital. If you need administrative support and solutions, making it just a little bit easier, not having to fight all the red tape to get those things done, but being able to come on this coach, talk to the person you need to about what you need, and walking off with a solution. Not, hey, go search 6 other websites and figure out how to navigate to your solution. So we're really, really excited about this. You will hear a lot more about this program in the coming months. But I hope everyone is able to take advantage of it. And like I said, this time next year, we'll be talking about the first coach we've built, where it's gone, how many people it's served, what kind of impact it's had on the community. And I think we are going to be blown away in simply year 1 by how much impact this tool can really have. All right, we talk about some of the bridge partners. We couldn't be more appreciative of all these partners who we're working with. I won't read them all, but you can see we've got a lot of folks who have committed to being part of this program and supporting us. So when we talk about those partnerships and the collaboration, these are folks who have said, yes, we're willing to support this and we're willing to help make access to these tools and resources a little bit easier. All right, as we finish, I want to do a little bit of recognition. We always do this, and I feel like it's important. I will not read through a full list of board of directors, but what I do want to do is say to the BBB board of directors, thank you for everything you do for us. They're sort of scattered around, but thank you to the board of directors. For those of you that aren't part of the board, what our board essentially does is they help provide the direction in terms of what we want to accomplish. It's strategy, but it's also how do they envision us accomplishing those tasks. These folks are all volunteer. They do this out of the kindness of their heart. This is really just a passion project for them to help us figure out how to make small businesses successful, how to promote trust in the marketplace. So to all of our board of directors, some of whom are not able to be here today and are on our virtual presence, thank you. I appreciate everything you guys have done for us. Boom. All right. Thank you to the board. Let's see. Our officers, within the board of directors, we have 5 folks designated as officers. Mike Jones, who will be up in a minute just to give some parting comments, is our board chair. Sadly, he is also our outgoing board chair, but I'm repressing all those feelings, so we're not going to talk about that right now. We've also got Preston Hobson, who is going to be our nomination for the incoming chair. I'm very excited about that, but I'm still mourning Mike, so I'm very conflicted with my feelings right now. We've got Donna Beatty, who is our secretary and treasurer, Bonnie Raby, and Ray Penny. Ray is one of our crossover board members. He is a member of the BBB and a member of our bridge board. So Ray does double duty, which I greatly appreciate. And then when we talk about some of our expiring boards, bigger than usual list. We usually don't have this many people retiring at one time. We try to stagger them all. But again, I like to thank all these folks because these folks have given probably upwards of 6 to 9 years of service to the Better Business Bureau. Again, all on a voluntary basis. So we like to say thank you to them and be appreciative of what they've done for almost a decade of time supporting the Better Business Bureau. We did talk about the fact that we are nominating Mr. Preston Hobson for the board chair role. That vote will be taken next week, and we'll solidify that. But Preston, again, a part of WSB TV. He has been on our board for a little while, so really knows us intricately, knows what we're planning to do, how we've gotten to where we are, and I could not ask for a better partner in the future to help continue to lead the vision that Mike and Tim and Brennan before him have all laid out. And then our 2025 officers, again, will continue this, but it just states that Mike will continue in the immediate past chair role. Preston will be our board chair nomination. Bonnie, Ray, and Donna continue to support us as officers. All right, so I'm promised I'm not going to get emotional. Mike has been our board chair for 3 years now. He's been on the board for 8 years, so next year will be his, we have a 9-year term limit on our board, so next year will be his final year with us, which will be even more heartbreaking. But Mike's going to come up and just say a few kind of closing words, and then I'm going to come up and say a few closing words about Mike that he may or may not know. So Mike, would you like to come up and say a few things?
Thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Let's see if I can do this without breaking it. All right. Excellent. Don't fall on me. I recently went and saw my eye doctor, and he said I needed progressives. Some of you know exactly what I'm talking about. So if I'm doing this number, let me just start by saying thank you. 2 things I want to touch on. One is gratitude, and the other is trust. But let me start with gratitude. We've got some awesome folks working with Brian, supporting the board. And they're the BBB employees that you see kind of scattered throughout in the back of the room. This doesn't happen without a lot of tireless work, probably an early morning this morning, probably a late night last night. So I just want to start by saying thank you to all of the BBB associates that are in the room. On behalf of the board of directors, I think there's 16 that we had up there. I want to take a moment to express my gratitude to each and every one of you for your commitment to the BBB and for being here today. I also want to make sure that I recognize you all for your loyalty. Many of you have been members of the Better Business Bureau going back far longer than my term of service. This doesn't happen without a symbiotic relationship, and it doesn't happen without your support. So thank you for that. If you start at the top of your little agenda, right underneath the BBB, it says something. It says start with trust. We heard from Cammie, and even Lori touched on, ethos of a great organization, and trust has always resonated with me. And when you think about trust, it's the cornerstone of any excellent organization. It's what binds us together as a community dedicated to promoting ethical business practices and integrity. And thank you. Thank you for the trust that you place in the BBB and also in each other. It is that trust that empowers us to uphold our mission of fostering an environment where businesses can thrive and consumers can feel confident in their choices. And each day, we know that is it's a new day to earn, and we strive to earn that trust each and every single day. So thank you for your dedication to our values and for your membership. I am super proud of the relationships that we've built together over the years, your commitment to maintaining the high standards And the willingness to hold each other accountable is what makes our network so incredibly strong. In a world that often challenges the concept of trust, you stand as a testament to the importance of building trust, certainly in a business community, but in all of our communities, no matter how we view them. As we look ahead, let us continue to cultivate this trust. And you've got a great incoming chair in Preston to help with that. Let us be proactive in our communication. Let us support one another and lead by example. And together we can continue to grow a marketplace that not only thrives on trust, but also champions trust. Champions trust is a fundamental principle for business success. Thank you for your unwavering commitment to the Better Business Bureau. Thank you for the trust that you've extended me over the last 8 years. It's hard to believe we've got a past CEO and Fred Ellsbury. Give it up for Fred Ellsbury, by the way. Thank you for coming out, sir. Thank you for coming out. Fred and I had lunch 8 years ago, and you invited me to join this fine organization, and I'm forever grateful for it. So I'm super excited about what we're going to accomplish in the coming year together. Please welcome back to the stage Brian Catano. Thank you.
Josh. All right, so we're not going to let Mike go just yet. So Josh is going to come back, and being that this is Mike's final, well, not his final year. He'll stay on for another year, but we did feel like it was appropriate to give him a little recognition plaque, thank him for his years of service and dedication. And like I said, y'all, one of the things that probably goes misunderstood is these are all voluntary roles and voluntary opportunities. So Mike has done this out of the goodness of his heart for this long, and he's an incredibly warm and passionate person about what he does. But you heard from just the couple of minutes he did right here, he couldn't care more about what we do than everyone that's out here. He really has the best interest of everybody at heart, and that's what makes him such a great chair. So we're also giving him a bat in case anybody messes with him.
Yeah. Is that Smoltzy?
It's a nice bat. It's signed by John Smoltz, so it gives him a little clout with his family at home.
I will make sure my 10-year-old baseball playing son does not see it.
There you go. It either goes straight to his office or straight to his son's room. So either one is for him.
I assure you.
That's right. So it seems like he's paying more attention to the bat than the plaque, but nonetheless, I would too. So
I can't hit anybody with what.
That's a good point. All right, so anyway, if I could ask you all, please give Mike a round of applause for what he's done for us. All right. Thank you, Mike. And then we would like to ask Preston as the incoming chair nomination to come up and just say a couple of introductory words, kind of introduce himself to you all so that you get a chance to know who he is, what he's all about, and just kind of what his vision for the future might be. I'm putting him on the spot. This is great.
Yeah, he has put me on the spot. My name's Preston Hobson. I've been on the board for a while now. Fred took me out to lunch as well, took me to Mary Mac Tea Room. Thank you very much, and worked with Fred and with Mike over the years until Brian came in. I'm with WSB TV, as he mentioned. I've been, thank you for the recognition, for 60 years. I've been there 23 of those 60 years. I'm not on air like Lori or like Dale was in the past. I'm a sales manager there, and I also handle the political advertising of all the ads you see right now, and for that I apologize. I'm that guy. So but 19 days, we're getting there. 19 days and it's done. You can go back to normal programming. No, but I just got to tell you how excited I am to see where we've been and where we're going, and just the trajectory and the innovation of where the BBB is going. I mean, Josh is offering to be your personal assistant for free. I mean, who does that? You're going to be very, very busy, Josh. Very nice of you. But no, it's just so great. It's a great organization to be a part of. Big shoes to fill from Mike and previous presidents. And, just the stuff that now that we're just not ratings and reviews anymore, guys. There's just so much more we have to offer that you can take advantage of. And I highly encourage you guys to lean in, learn more about what we have to offer, because all that will do is help you and your company to get better and better. So thank you very much. I look forward to working with all of you, and thank you all for coming.
All right, y'all. So we're going to start wrapping up here. Let's see. Couple of thank yous. I will not go through all the thank yous, but I do want to make sure we thank our sponsors. You'll see a number of them: Rollins, Roswell Inc., and Mr. Stroud, Trustdale, who's been a great partner of ours for so long and continues to be a partner of ours. We always appreciate that. Emory University and the Hatchery, Century Solutions Group, who does our IT, Homrick Berg, who's helps us with our endowment accounts, the Atlanta Dream, who have been a wonderful partner over the last couple of years. Thank you all. Atlanta Gas Light, and then, wow, my eyesight. Oh, and Bring the Crew. Thank you, Bring the Crew. You guys are there. You've been a sponsor of ours for a couple of years now, so it's incredibly appreciated. So thank you to all of our sponsors who have made this event happen. I will not dare read through all this. I know you guys want to hear me read through all this, but we do have a lot of folks, and this list isn't even completely representative of all the people that help make not only this event, but everything we do every month, every year possible. So thank you to everybody on this list, and if you're not on this list, gosh, I do apologize, because you are never, ever forgotten. We appreciate so much how, as a nonprofit organization, we rely on these partnerships to make things happen and be able to promote the Better Business Bureau. So thank you to everybody on this list. The one group I am going to call out, you heard Preston and Mike both mention it, but if you are a member of the Better Business Bureau team, would you please stand up? I know they won't want to, but they're going to, please. Thank you all. If you guys would, please give them a round of applause. Not only do they make today happen, and clearly what goes into today is a lot of time. Most of you have probably done something like this. It's a lot of time and work and effort, but everything they do every day to make sure that we can provide the resources, the services, the tools that we need to, so that you are a happy and satisfied accredited business. So again, thank you to the team. Thank you for everything you guys do, and thank you for everything we deliver to our accredited businesses. All right, we talked about him, didn't we? Yeah, we did. So once again, just thank you to Mike as the outgoing board chair for everything he's done. All right, now we're going to do some giveaways. Are you going to? All right, Lori's going to come up. So you all have waited for the giveaways. So Lori's going to get to do the fun stuff now.
Thank you, Brian. An incredible presentation. Thank you all. We can give you guys a round of applause too, as we are working to wrap up this afternoon and do some pretty special giveaways. Okay, Katie. Should I give you the mic, or do you want to pick them? What are we going to do? I don't know what we're doing. Okay. I'll deliver. Oh, you'll deliver. I know you will. I know you will. Okay. Our first winner, we're doing giveaways. You guys put your cards in here. We have Jess Long of trustdale.com. There we go. And what are we giving?
So you are going to get a Braves jersey, a signed Braves jersey.
Jess, it is your lucky day. It's a John Smoltz signed. What? Pretty cool. Okay. Are we good? Okay. And Dale, it is good to see you in person, instead of on billboards and TV. Okay, and now, is it Gigi Williams? You're the next winner on The Price is Right. Oh, no, this is different. Okay, and what do we have for Gigi? Did I pronounce it correctly? Tell me. Gigi.
All right, Gigi, you are going home with a nice bottle of gin from our friends here at the distillery.
Nice. Congratulations.
Okay, all together. Here we go.
Okay, do we have more?
Yes,
We have more. I have a $100 bill in here. Is this real? The Financial Cures System, Dr. Wendy Labatt. There you go. Our next winner. And what does Wendy win?
Wendy is going home with a bottle of whiskey from our friends here.
Congratulations. Okay, we'll take a quick picture. Okay. Yes. Okay. Do we have any more? We have one more. Okay, one more. I'm closing my eyes this time. Here we go. Lisa Thibault of City Lifestyle. Did I pronounce that correctly, Lisa? Thibault. Thibault. There we go. Oh, no. Thank you. Congratulations. Okay, congratulations to our lucky winners. We're done, right? We've given away all the gifts? Okay. But we are not done yet. We have one more special moment to share before we wrap up this afternoon and let you enjoy the museum tours, the whiskey tasting, and all the other fun. Brian, would you please come back up to the stage? All right, Brian, we want to recognize your dedication and leadership. Don't look at my script. Okay. It is our honor to present you with a commendation from Governor Brian Kemp and a flag that was flown over the Georgia Capitol in your name. Small token of appreciation for everything you have done for the BBB, the organization, and the community. Congratulations. That is awesome. Awesome. Very special and surprising. At a loss for words, which never happens, right? No, congratulations. So well deserved. What an incredible year it has been for the Better Business Bureau of Atlanta and Northeast Georgia. You all have truly raised the bar, set that standard for next year. To everybody who played a part in the success of the BBB this year, congratulations, big and small. You all should definitely be proud of yourselves and deserve a round of applause. I won't make you clap again unless you want to, but congratulations. I want to thank everybody for participating in today's program. It has been truly my honor. I hope to see you all tomorrow morning at 4 a.m. on WSB Channel 2, because that's where I'll be. You'll be there with me, I hope. But please feel free to enjoy the rest of the afternoon. Mingle with your fellow business owners and community partners. Take pictures, enjoy the museum tours, savor the whiskey. And then, of course, we hope to see you next year in 2025. Have an incredible afternoon.
And y'all, just a quick thank you to Lori, everybody. A quick thank you to Lori for being our MC for the afternoon. She got up kind of early in the morning for this, so thank you, Lori. Thank you.